Hello. Today I'm doing a short reaction to a small clip from Angelina Jordan singing "Heal the World" by Michael Jackson, and this was, I think, taken from her Instagram page, I guess, and I'm not sure how that works, but anyway, so yeah, I'd like to hear what she has to say and what she's doing, what she's up to. So whenever she introduces these small, I wonder if she actually does covers and completely after she does these small versions or these small covers, or if she's just trying to send out a message, make sure that she continues her trending, how she trends. And because in today's world, it's a lot about that, right? It's I would call it the always be trending world. And basically it used to be always be buying. Oh wait, how was it? Always be selling, I think. Or ABC, always be closing. The ABC from Glenn Ross. And now it's always be trending. At least that's what I think. And yeah, so, and I noticed that with YouTube as well. If I could take a moment before listening to what Angelina has to offer. Like, for example, I noticed in YouTube that what happens is that if your video is being watched, or it sort of trends, it's trending, then they will expose it further to more of an audience. And it starts off with the amount of subscribers a person has. The more subscribers a person has, obviously the more exposure it has right off the bat. And then what happens is from there it picks up speed, or it doesn't. But if it does pick up speed in some way, they will expose it even further, which invites more subscribers to the person's channel, and then that feeds on itself, because more subscribers, more exposure, ultimately, it's sort of this cycle that continues. And once you stop trending, everything else sort of drops off, or slows down, and so there's this attitude of always be trending, and I think that's why I think you see thumbnails with those little pop-up things that I think become more and more flamboyant, because you're trying to attract the people's attention because of the exposure. The more attention you get, the more exposure you get, the more potential subscribers you get, and that feeds on itself. So it's this trending world that's really, I think, in a way, just part of the corporate mentality, because the corporate mentality is basically the better you do, the more we give you, or the more you are rewarded. So, and that's why you end up having a world where just a few individuals control a massive amount, like more than half the world's total wealth, type of thing. That's a really sorry, I just went on a tangent there, but getting back to Angelina's message, and here it's heal the world. It's peculiar that she mentions that, and the reason I mentioned the trending is because of because somebody mentioned in a comment that maybe she's seeing what the thread is, the thread of what is going on, maybe in the conversation on YouTube, maybe about her, maybe about some just in general. And I think I really think that the only thread, the line that attaches from one thing to another that Angelina has, is basically a love. I think the idea that I think that's what she started off with when she was, from my understanding, when she was 6, when she when she gave away her shoes to another child. That was from compassion and love. And I think that then she wrote a book about it, and then she continued on that, and the reason why she's barefoot on stage. And the whole concept of what she does is about sharing that love and compassion. And I think her goal is through music and through her singing that others will feel happy and content and will feel her love the way she demonstrates it. And then with that, others will feel better and they won't be as bad to others. And they'll also maybe themselves be more sharing and more compassionate towards others. I think that that's the main goal, and sort of like a pay it forward type of mechanism that I think instinctively she's trying to do. At least that's what I imagine. I don't know exactly, because this is an image that we are watching. We don't know her. We don't know her specifically. We know a lot about her, maybe some of you a lot more than I do. But I think what it comes down to is that we always create this image of someone else, and that's not necessarily who the other person is. But in her case, we understand that she's an incredibly sweet, caring, loving, compassionate person. And I think that's why we are very, the people that follow her are very protective of her. And but again, she has to live her life. She has to be, I think, free to do her thing, and not completely isolate herself from that she's forced to isolate herself, because fans can be fanatical, because that's where actually the word fans comes from, right? Fanatics. So there's there's a point where that extremity tends to lead to problems, because now you're depending your happiness on somebody else. And this is where I am trying to say that happiness is only a byproduct of finding inner enlightenment. Without that, the happiness is conditional or temporary or dependent on somebody else. So, in other words, if you have your love inside, and you're sharing that, you're not dependent on others to share it, to give it back to you, or for them to love you. You have it already. And I think that that's where I think Angelina is, in a way, so. And again, now I'm imagining this, but this is the instinct that I have about her, is that she already has that already instinctually, within her. And I think that that's the world that she goes to in some way, when she's singing, or when she forgets herself and she closes her eyes and forgets herself, when she sees that she's getting too maybe involved with things that don't really matter. She reminds herself that, wait a second, that's not what I'm doing, that's not what my objective is in life. And again, now I'm just imagining this, maybe, I don't know, but that's the impression I have. So yeah, anyway, I think I've spoken enough. Sorry. Let's hear what she has to offer.
There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. And this place could be much brighter than tomorrow. If you really try, you'll find there's no need to cry. In this place, you will feel there's no hurt or sorrow.
See, this is what I'm talking about, you know. Look at that smile. I think that's what she's trying to point out, you know, that when you're in that place, in that world that she's in, that she goes to, I think that's what she's trying to share, and she's trying to explain in some way.
There are ways to get there.
I mean, hold on a second. I'm just going to go back a little bit, because she has this look like she's saying, did you hear what I said? You know, that type of thing. Did you hear what the lyrics are saying? You know,
there's no hurt or sorrow.
See, like, she's going, okay, that's, I mean that, you know, there's a place where there's no hurt, there's no need to cry, there's no sorrow. And that place is, I think, the world that she goes to, that people have spoken about, that when she's singing and so on. And that place is love.
There are ways to get there if you care enough for the living. Make a little space, make a better place. Heal the world and the world, make it a better place. For you and for me and the entire human race. There are people down.
Oops. I just lost it. I just lost the. If I don't stop it in time, it just goes on to the next video. I think there's a way, probably. I don't have it. I probably don't have it set right. But I mean, can anybody be more touching and soulful, in as a definition of a soulful, in the sense of, like, she's so caring and demonstrates such that, because she means those words, she knows exactly what they refer to. It's because she doesn't sing to sing. She's not singing just because she knows how to sing, and she's a master of that. She is a master, and that's why it's more the message. And it's pretty clear what she's trying to say, right?